50/30 constructed game of Sorcery played at Guardian Games in Portland, Oregon. Up top is my friend Kellen playing his Deathspeaker deck, and then I am playing a Sorcerer aggro deck on the bottom. This is actually the second game that we played with these decks on this day, and I believe that I won the first one with an aggro win. And we were stress testing these decks because we were thinking about taking them to the Unland Cup, which was a big tournament up in Seattle at the beginning of June. So we wanted to get a lot of reps in them and make sure that we were comfortable with each of our decks, and then also just get more reps so we knew how the deck's handled and what to expect. Turn 1, I play Ruins and pass turn. Kellen's going to play a Lighthouse and pass turn. I'm drawing a site for turn. Maybe a treetop. I believe with the sites in hand that would give me 2 fire and 2 air. Access to 2 fire and 2 air. I'm going to play a cursed land as my second site. And again, like that site placement, I'm not 100% sold on. It does prevent, or it does make your opponent think twice about whether or not they want to aggressively build out and meet you in the middle with their sites. But sometimes it can also force them to build defensively horizontally. He is going to go ahead and play a Pebbled Path, which is a huge issue for my deck. Most of my deck is charge based, and that's the kind of strategy that I'm trying to employ here to get a quick victory. He will take 2 points of damage from the cursed land when he played the Pebble Path, and then he had the Land Surveyor as his 2-drop. Drawing a site for turn, and I'm going to tap to play out, I believe, a Ruins again. So that will definitely fix me for thresholds for most of what I want. I'll take 2 points of damage for the Cursed Earth, or the Cursed Land, and then have 3 mana for turn. 3 mana for turn for Morgana Fae. So Morgana is going to give me a separate hand of 3 cards that she controls. And we'll also put her in stealth. I felt a little more confident putting her in the back row there in like projectile line with the enemy avatar, just because when she comes in she does have stealth. Kellen's gonna play a Gnome Hollow as his 3rd site, and he's gonna bring out an egg, which is not great. I do have a Dispel in my hand, in Morgana Le Fay's hand, which I think I'll end up using here. He attacks in with his Land Surveyor for 1 point before he ends turn and passes. So it is pretty important that I get the egg dispelled as soon as possible, which is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead and I opt to attack into the Land Surveyor. I don't know if that was the right choice or not, but I just wanted to clear the minion as long as I had to move up anyways. And now I remember why I did that. I attacked in because I had the Treetop Hideout in my hand that I wanted to play, and that was going to give me allow me to re-stealth Morgana. And now moved up into position, Morgana is going to disenchant the egg. I need to get that out ASAP because it is going to erode anything that I want to do here with kind of dealing damage to him as fast as I can. I'm going to play Warhorse and then pass turn because it cannot charge. It has the charge ability disabled from the Pebbled Path. Talking about the merits of running disenchants or dispels in the meta, like how many you want access to in your deck, what you are putting them in your deck to guard against, like scary things like eggs can be scary, rings for sure can be scary, certain popular auras can be difficult to play against that you want to have the ability to get out, to get rid of. He's playing a step, and then he's going to Vile Imp and ping the Warhorse for 2. And then we're just catching up on the Cursed Lands damages. I don't remember, but we may or may not have forgotten to count the Cursed Land damage from the Gnome Hollow. Because I see 3 sites out there that would be 6 points of damage. No, we got it right then, +1. River of Flame will also ping me for 2 points of damage to drop my health some more. And then I'm going to play a Brother Knight. Brother Knight, I like in theory, like when it works, but the fact that it only has 2 defense makes it pretty vulnerable. So against Kellen's Deathspeaker deck, because he's running imps can like straight remove those pieces from the board with the 2 ping, and then also attack in and remove them as well with a fight for 2. But if he doesn't have an immediate response to them on the next turn, they both swing in, and they're going to swing for 6 points of damage, which is a decent amount of damage to apply per turn. I also like the ability, it's just like anything that allows you to just like summon or fetch out a card from your library is additional value. It's an extra card that you didn't have to have in your hand potentially. So there is that draw to them as well. He plays a Windmill, and he's got the answer for everything I have on board right now. He's gonna Earthquake to remove everything. He's going to that's also going to pitch Morgana's hand. At that point, I am regretting maybe not taking advantage of the cards in Morgana's hand while I had the chance. I just didn't really want to play out the Petrosian Cavalry for 4 while he had the Pebbled Path. Like, you're paying 4 for a 3 that can't attack on the turn it comes in. It just felt bad. And then he's going to attack in again with the Vile Imp for another 2 points of damage. I think I'm going to play a Sight instead of drawing a spell for turn. No, I drew a spell. I drew a spell for turn. I'll play Colicky, Dragonet. Just because I want to start getting more damage on board onto him. So at the end of turn, it will ping for 1. And then it will threaten to remove the Vile Imp, or it could just start swinging in for 3 if I am in the position where I feel like I can race him to door. But I am trailing him at this point. And again, I think it's because we did not calculate at least the Gnome Hollow for an extra 2 points of damage. I think that's right. Because he would have taken... Because he would have taken 6 points total and healed 1 from the egg. Go to Fey Changeling to bounce back the Dragonets to my hand and then attack him for 2 more points of damage. So that really beats back my tempo. And at this point, I think I'm considering taking a step up. I have a Firebolt in my hand, and I just want to clear out. I want to clear out the minions on the board here. That's what I end up doing. The Firebolts, 1 to the Changeling, and then 2 to the Imp. And I replay the Dragonets and ping him for 1, and then pass turn. I think that was probably the best play I could have had on that turn. Just clearing out the board, getting my piece back on the board, and being able to do at least a ping of damage to him, since I can't get the charge out. I also have a red cap in my hand, but the problem is that with Pebble Path out in play, the red cap wouldn't be able to attack on the turn it's there, and then it would die immediately after it's at the end of the turn when it's summoned, because it failed to attack that turn. So right now it is kind of a dead card in my hand. He is playing Black Plague to kill the Dragonets at the end of turn, and then he recast the Vile Imp with the Deathspeaker ability to deal 2 more points of damage to me. So I'm tapping for a spell right now because I'm set up with 5 mana base. I drew a Feast for Crows. What I really need is more minion power right now, though. I have a lot of good cards in my hand, but they're not the cards that I need to swing back the life total ratios in the game at the moment. I have that Warhorse, and that would at least be a body to bring out, even if it doesn't have charge. So if I played the Warhorse, that would be 2, leaving me with 3 mana. I'm going to choose the Feast for Crows first. And I don't remember what I call. I think I just call Vile Imp just because I know he has those in the deck, and I know that those can be very difficult for my deck with my minion power curve. Yeah, so he's got 2 left in his deck, at least. He's got 3 left in his deck. So I felt okay with that decision, just because they're especially damaging in a Deathspeaker deck, because they come out, they ping for 2, they're a 2-body. You remove them, and then he can recast them for another 2 points of damage and ping me again. And then my last play on that turn is to play out the Warhorse. Again, I just need to get bodies on the board in order to be able to start doing something here. I'm passing turn over. At the end of his turn here, the Black Plague will dispel if he doesn't have a minion on any of those sites. But, I mean, at that point, the Black Plague has already done its work. Most of the time when you're playing out a Black Plague, you are going to immediately get a creature removal from it. And if you can get multiple removals, you know, all the better. He's playing a Harpy to strike the Warhorse and kill it, which was a good play for him as well. And he's going to pass turn. I'm going to tap for a spell again at this point. And I have I drew into the ring, which would allow me to start pinging up some life and stabilizing here. So at this point, I'm just thinking about how I want to layer this out. If I play the ring out first, or if I go for a different move here. And I have to just remove those the harpies. I didn't want to deal with them. And I don't remember if I had another, like a 3-drop. I think that was a mistake on my part. I should have played the ring first, and then when I cast the firebolt, pinged for 1 to at least gain a point of life. But we're talking about min-maxing at this point, and the only thing I can think of, the reason why I wouldn't play the ring out that turn, was because I was afraid of potentially him having a dispel or a disenchant in his hand, and I wanted to be in a position where I was playing a minimum of 2 spells and being able to ping a minimum of twice on a turn when the ring comes out, to at least get some value out of it. I don't think it does. I don't think that's the right choice. It probably doesn't do any good to kind of beat around the bush with it and play that defensively with it. He's got a major explosion for 7, which is enough to take me to the door, and he's going to pass turn, which puts me in a difficult position because I think he has a lot of ways to round out the game and end it here. I got 5 mana for turn. I'm considering moving to get away somewhere. And I take a step back. And I think I take a step back because I want to play a minion onto Treetop Hideout to screen any projectiles that he may have. So that's why I'm layering minions there, because I'm more worried about a projectile attack at this point for the final point versus something like, I don't know, a lightning bolt or another major explosion or a minor explosion, something of that nature. That might just be my personal bias. I know that some players prefer the flexibility of firebolts and magic missiles, even though they're projectiles, versus the targeting freedom of lightning bolts with the downsides of the randomization. So now he plays out. He has his own ring, which he plays out. He's going to move forward, which really backs me into a corner here unless I draw another disenchant, and I have 2 disenchants in this deck, but I need to top deck a disenchant, otherwise on his next turn he would just be able to take a step forward and ping me for that final point. So he recast the harpies from the cemetery in order to strike the warhorse and remove it. And from casting, he used the ring to ping up for one point of life gain. So unless I can pull a disenchant here, I think the writing is on the wall. And it doesn't look like I get it. So we say good game on that because, like I said, like next turn, it doesn't matter what I do. All he has to do is take a step forward and cast any spell, and ping my avatar for 1 point. Good game to Kellen. His deck fired in the way that he wanted it to do. I think I made a couple non-optimal plays. Playing the ring a turn, or playing my ring a turn earlier would have certainly bought me another turn. But thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.